But now I'll rise above you.
Swazula, you sugary pretzels, let's go and talk about something very nice. Very nice. I'm a little bit excited to make this video. I wasn't excited to do the research for it because goddamn, but you know what? I was really in the mood to do something very different. I've been playing with this idea for a while and now it's finally the time. I had some time, I could sit down, crunch down, do some numbers, and figure out the following question. What is that question? Well, the prestigious, oh so glorious, super high horse MR30. Can I get an amen? How much is it worth? Like, if you could download Warframe today as a newcomer, or if you would start a new account today, how much money, like actual money, would it cost you to become MR30? So of course that is based off of a couple of assumptions because Warframe's XP system and level up system is one of the most chaotic messes I've ever seen from any game. So you're gonna have to bear with me a little bit because there is quite a bit of margin for error here because some things are just really difficult to actually find out precisely, and I can't be asked to do that. But I did try to get it as accurate as I possibly could. So, in order to understand how much this is all worth and how the calculations work and all those good things, you have to understand how XP works in general. In short, well, you rank up MR levels by ranking up items. Items are weapons and warframes and companions and all that other good shit, right? So as you rank those up to their maximum capable level, which is level 30 in most of the cases, they will grant you certain levels of XP towards your mastery rank. The more items you rank to max, the higher your personal mastery rank goes. Okay, cool. So one would think the first order of business when you download Warframe for the first time or start a new account right now and you want to get going on that MR30 goal, the first thing that you would have to do is buy every item that there is, right? And that's exactly what we're going to do. If you go ahead and buy all of the weapons that you can buy from the market, you get everything that you possibly can, you'll wind up spending somewhere around 30,000 platinum. Okay, are you done now? No, not even close. That's just the primary weapons, the secondary weapons, and the melee weapons. We haven't talked about all the other shit that you could possibly buy and also definitely have to level up if you want to reach MR. No, we're nowhere near that yet. So far, we've only done the weapons. Only the weapons. And we're already up to 30,000 platinum, roughly. Okay? Now, there's something that we have to keep in mind, though, too. Not all of the weapons are purchasable with platinum. Some of them just come with credits only. So in order to pay for that, we're going to need to spend another extra 90 platinum in order to get 2 platinum to cred conversion. So if you pay 45 platinum, you can get 175,000 credits for it, which is a horrible investment. Never, ever do that, ever. All right? Don't. Just forget it. Don't do it. You can get within 5 minutes, you can get 1,000,000 credits almost, right? Don't forget that. But for the sake of this video, we're going to spend that 90 platinum for 2 of those packs, buy ourselves a pretty little 350,000 credits, and thereby acquire the blueprints for the other weapons. Or not the blueprints, but acquire the other weapons that, you can't buy with platinum. So taking that into account, we now have roughly 30,000 platinum spent plus 90 platinum for the credit conversion, and that's only for the weapons. Now we gotta talk about all the warframes. Well, shit. How much is it going to cost to buy every damn warframe from the market? Well, I can tell you, 12,850 platinum. What? Hot damn. Okay, shit. Well, that's not too shabby, is it? I guess. We're still not done. We're still nowhere near MR30, even if you would rank up everything that we just spent, which is roughly 40,000 platinum. We're still nowhere near MR30. We have to also somehow buy and level all of the prime warframes, all of the necromechs, all the other prime junk that you will find out there, like prime companion parts, prime sentinels, their weapons that are primed, etc, etc. We got one archwing out there that is primed. All of these things combined also equate to roughly 4,000 platinum. Holy shit. Okay, keep in mind I'm going off of a average prime warframe price of 200 plat each. Of course, if a prime frame is brand spanking new, there are going to be some knuckleheads selling it for 5, 6, 7, 800 or even thousands of platinum. And if the frame is super old or very unpopular, there are going to be people out there selling it for 30 plat. But if you're a trading businessman that, spends their time in the chat a lot and doesn't mind waiting a little bit, then you can get away with getting every single prime frame on average for about 200 platinum. Same with the other junk. I went ahead and guesstimated 50 plat. Most weapons, if you wait long enough, will cost 50 plat. A lot of the weapons, like the sentinel weapons, are thrown down the toilet for 5 plat or 10. So on average, let's say 50 for the junk and 200 for full warframes. All right, cool. So we also have to go ahead and get every single Kubro. There are 5 Kubros plus 1 because the charger that we can get. Now, we can't just straight up buy Kubros because, I don't know, logic, I guess. So what we would have to do in order to acquire all 6 Kubros is have 6 Kubro eggs, 6 incubator cores, and we would have to be 100% certain. Keep in mind, this is a game that is notorious for RNG, random number generator, okay? It's really not going to happen this way, but let's just say you have a 100% chance to actually get the specific Kubro that you want, right? We'll still have to buy 6 times starter bundle for 65 plat each, which will equate to 390 platinum. Now, since it's random, we can use templates that we can buy from other players. So you want a Sahaza Kubro right now, get yourself 2 templates of a Sahaza Kubro. You want to have a Cheza Kubro, get yourself 2 templates of those. You can trade those with other players. Most of the time, they will be also thrown out the window for very little plat. My assumption is 10 plat each. You need 5 Kubro breeds need templates. The charger doesn't. You just have to get infected with Nidus cyst and drain that into it, so you'll have it anyways. So you're going to need at least 5 sets of templates of each breed, which is another 50 plat right there. So a grand total of 450 plat. Boom, gone. Okay, what about Kavats then? Well, same thing again. There are 3 kinds of Kavats that you also cannot buy straight out of the market, so you have to work your way around and use the items that you have and gamble a little bit with RNG. So that means 3 times the Kavat genetic starter pack for 95 platinum each, which will equate to 285 plus 30, another 30 plat for templates, which is a grand total of 350 plat. Okay, what about the damn sentinels? Well, there are a lot of sentinels, and luckily we can buy all of them. That's another 600 plat. Now, with all of these things considered, you have now just purchased almost everything that you can purchase by normal means in the game, and you level them. At this point in time, we are around 998 items, roughly. Again, there is some room for a little bit of error here because, like I said, the XP and item system and correlation with MR system, it's one of the most crazy messes, chaotic things I've ever seen in any game. So it's really hard to comprehend what goes where and what fits how and what is calculated in which way. But at this point in time, we're roughly around 998 items that would have been purchased and leveled. We have, by this point in time, spent a grand total of roughly 59,645 plat. I repeat, 59,645 plat. And guess what? we're still not MR30. See, fact of the matter is, you actually can't buy yourself into MR30 at the time of uploading this video. Maybe a couple years from now when there are other trash items that you can get from the market, but that's going to be a very, very long time, especially at the rate that DE is releasing new things that you can level in the first place, but that's a different story for another day. At this point in time, after spending roughly 60,000, just under 60,000 platinum for acquiring about 998 items, we are now successfully mastery rank 28. What? Hold on now. Wait a goddamn minute. What do you mean?
What you talking about, Willis?
What do you mean we spent 60,000 platinum and we're only MR28? What's the holdup? We bought everything there is?
Kif, we have a conundrum.
No, we haven't bought everything there is. See, there's something missing. There are roughly 100 and something, about 110, about 120 or so items in the game that you simply can't buy, and you also can't bypass kind of sort of indirectly buy them by trading them with players or by getting like the genetic starter pack thing for Kubros and Kavats and stuff. These are just other items that you get by other means, such as Borko Katir Trader, or from hunting the Zanuka, for example, for the Detron and all of these things. Those kinds of things. Things that drop from alerts or from special events like the Snipetron and all of these other things. So items that you just straight up cannot buy anywhere in the game. Okay. So at this point, if we take that into account, we're missing about 56 items at the moment, okay? Roughly. This, like I said, it gets very, very tricky, very quickly. Now, since we can't be 100% accurate, and some of the parts are tradable and others, again, aren't, and others are accessible immediately and others, well, not so much, let's just say that on average, at this point in time, we're missing 40 things that we could buy on average for, let's say, about 50 platinum each. That would mean we have to spend another 2,000 platinum after hitting MR28 in order to get the last couple of things. So, what does that mean in the grand scheme of things now? That means 61,645 platinum for MR30. Wow, that's actually not as much as I thought it would be, but that's still a lot. I mean, how many of you knuckleheads have 61,000 platinum lying around? I know I only have a tenth of that lying around. I'm just saying, right? And even if you get into the game and buy everything that you can buy immediately, you'd still not be MR30. You'd still have to farm for the other parts and partially trade to get them. And even if you could, if we entertain the idea that you could buy them, we'd have to add another 2,000, which brings us to 61,645 platinum. Holy shit. But what does that actually mean in real world cash? How much money do we actually spend, actual real world money, in order to become MR30? And again, we're going to assume that you could start the game today and all of the items in the game necessary to be leveled in order to become MR30 were purchasable immediately. We're going to pretend that MR locks do not exist. We're going to pretend that later level farms do not exist. We're going to pretend that you download the game today, and if you're a millionaire, you could spend all of your money and get everything immediately and then start leveling it until you're MR30. Okay? So, if that were true and possible, then we would have to get 15 times maximum platinum packs in order to afford MR30, which in my currency, which is euros, you know, the only currency that matters, 15 times 180 bucks, which brings us to 2,699.85 cents. So roughly 2,700 euros is what it costs to become MR30, assuming we could buy literally every item, because some of them are hidden, but assuming we could buy them all, that's how much money it would take. 2,700 euros. Holy shit. Well, hot damn. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, man. That's more money than my car is worth by a lot. Okay? That's holy shit. But are we done now? No, not really. Not really. Because you see, there's one factor that we're forgetting here that is very, very important. Time is money. So how much time would all of this take? Now bear with me. There's no way in hell I can or will try to calculate how long it would actually take in-game time, actual time, to make MR30 happen. But what I can do is go with a rough average on how much time you spend leveling, and leveling only. How much time do you spend in the appropriate leveling areas in order to bring all of these items up to their maximum levels so that you can get all of the XP from them and aim it towards your mastery rank? Okay. In my example, I'm going to base it off of my suggestion for leveling items easily and quickly, and that is Helene. It's a small defense mission on Saturn. It's accessible fairly early in the game compared to all the other methods, and it is very, very, very easy, and it drops good loot. I have a video on it if you want more information where I explain why and how and what. Yes, there are other options to level your items, especially your warframes, but those entail needing a friend all the time and a little bit of trickery. By far the easiest, most straightforward thing is get yourself a taxi, go to Helene. Okay, now on average, I happen to know that for leveling a weapon, and you have to level them one by one to make it as efficient as you possibly can, right? And you have to use a booster as well. I know that 10 waves of Helene are enough to max any weapon. And I know that 15 waves, sometimes 10, but more so 15 on average, are enough to max a warframe. All right, what does that exactly mean? Well, I did a measurement, and I measured that 10 waves of Helene, if you do a speed run, will take about 6 minutes and 50 seconds, so just under 7 minutes. Of course, it will vary a little bit with you guys, but you can't make Helene any faster, or a defense any faster than 6 minutes and 50 seconds, roughly. Maybe a couple seconds more, maybe a couple seconds less, but roughly 7 minutes, just below 7 minutes. And 15 waves takes just below 11 minutes. Taking that into account, if you're looking at leveling all of the guns, all of the archwings, all of the companions, all of that shit, and all of the small things, everything that isn't a warframe, if you're looking to level all of those, it's going to take you about 10 waves. Of course, Archwing not on Helene, but there it's going to be about the same amount of time, roughly, if you're doing the speed running stuff. If you level all of those items, you're going to be leveling 539 items, which will equate into 539 runs, grind run. So you have to run the grind 539 times, which according to our calculation, if it takes just under 7 minutes each, will equate to 62 hours. So to level everything that isn't Warframe, it'll cost you about 62 hours of in-game actual mission time. That's a lot of goddamn hours, man. That's a whole lot of goddamn hours. For most people, that's a week and a half worth of work. Goddamn. Okay, but what about Warframes? Well, Warframes require 15 waves. We already did that calculation. We have 78 Warframes out there. What? 78 Warframes? Yes, there are also Prime Warframes out there, in case you didn't know. And the Primes, they also give you XP. So hot diggity dog. There you go. That would equate to 14 and a half hours of grind yet again. Again, Helene, 15 waves at just under 11 minutes a pop. So that gives you a grand total of 76.3 hours worth of farming time only. You are spending, if everything goes perfectly smoothly, there's no room for error, no mistakes, everything runs smoothly, then you are looking at 76.3 hours worth of farming only. So are we done now? No, not yet, but almost. See, I said time is money. We got the time, we don't have the money yet. So I went ahead and looked at to try to find out what is the global minimum wage on average. My conclusion, $6.50, right? Of course it varies from country to country. I said average, all right? Sue me. So $6.50 on average, okay? Times that times the hours that we have necessary in order to do all of these runs is roughly $495.95, which means 407 euros. So if we were to get paid minimum wage for all of the time it takes us to only level everything in the game we need to beat MR30, if we would get paid minimum wage, we would earn ourselves 407 euros, right? Okay. So what was it again? What did we say earlier? Our conclusion now is the following. If you want to become MR30 and invest the time and the money in order to get it, that's only grind and only purchasing. No farming the items, no getting all of the resources for them, only straightforward buy the items and only pay the time it takes to level all of them. Then you're looking at a grand total MR30 cost of 3,107 euros. 3,107 euros. So in this make-believe universe, if you're looking to become MR30 within that amount of time as quickly and as efficiently as possible, then your best bet is to go ahead and buy everything, which is impossible. In reality, you can only get to MR28 roughly if you buy everything. All the other items you have to farm or wait for. You'll be spending 3,107 euros to become MR30. We also forgot one thing in this whole equation, if you happen to care. Kuva weapons level not to level 30, but actually level 40. And the only way you can push them to their final levels is if you add a forma. So each one of them needs 5 forma in order to even get them to the maximum rank, which is 40 on those Kuva weapons. And that means we also have to spend a little bit of money on the Kuva weapons as well. Thanks to the Kuva weapons, we get to do another extra 64 runs on top of what I just mentioned earlier for the Helene runs to actually get them leveled all the way up to level 40. And that also requires a surplus of 80 forma total, which is another 945 platinum on top of everything and 9 hours worth of grinding. So whee! So there you go, guys. Now you know how much it would cost you technically if you would want to become MR30 immediately and get paid for the time as well, or make up for lost time while wasting it on grinding these things. Now in general, guys, MR30 doesn't really mean anything. The only thing that MR30 means is that you have no life and very, very much time to play a video game and level Monday things such as K drives and all that other stuff. I don't want to get into it. I'm not saying that because I want to discourage you or because I want to put down people that happen to be MR30 right now. I'm more so directing this at the people that aren't MR30 and you're like maybe 20 or 18 or 15 or whatever, and you're like, man, I gotta get up to 30. No, you really don't. If you want to, go ahead, but you really don't. MR30 doesn't really mean anything. It has no significance whatsoever. It's literally just a time sink. So you really don't need it. You don't even get more powerful if you get to MR30. You don't have access to anything super special that is necessary. No, you and your little wee MR10 have access to more than enough items to kill everything in the game effectively. I'm just saying. So there you go. If you can hack Warframe to make it possible to buy literally everything and you don't mind spending the time, 3,107 euros is what MR30 is actually worth. With that, good day, good night. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this shitty channel and fuck off.